Yeah, hi everyone. Welcome back to our web series of Zeeve platform, of how you can deploy your nodes, your networks of your favorite blockchain protocols using Zeeve platform. So welcome back. Today we are going to go to Ethereum, which is one of the most popular blockchain protocols, as you guys must already know. And we're going to see how Zeeve can actually help in cut down the cost and help in monitoring and all the aspects which are required for management of Zeeve managed Ethereum nodes. So here I've logged in with my account again, and right off the bat again you can see that I've got some cloud deployments and such. I would recommend that you follow our previous videos to go through the general features of the platform to get used to them. I'll go straight into our dedicated node section and I'll showcase you that what we have here. So we can see that we've got some networks present here already, but I'm going to go ahead and create a fresh Ethereum network. So you can see I've got some subscription here present already. I'm gonna one subscription here is for Google Cloud, but I'm gonna go ahead and buy another subscription for purpose of my AWS instead. So I'll select Ethereum from the protocol selection list. I'll select whether I want bring your own cloud or Zeeve manage. Bring your own cloud, as I mentioned previously, allows you to configure your own cloud account and use that selective cloud account for deployment of the whole stack, so you don't have to move away from your own cloud account ultimately, and you don't give away the ownership of your managed services. While Zeeve Manage is where you don't have to worry about cloud account whatsoever, and you can just go ahead and use the services onto Zeeve right off the bat. So I'm gonna here, for the purpose of this video, select your own cloud, and because I've got 3 clouds authorized here, I'll select AWS, which will give me the options at the time of deployment of AWS. I'm going to select the node type, which is full node, and I can select the number of nodes for which I want to do the purchase. So I'm going to keep this to 1, just like that, and I'm going to click here on subscribe. So this will take me to the payment screen, and once that has been purchased, then I can actually go ahead and set up my own network. So I'm going to now again click on add network. I can see all of my subscriptions upon which I would like to do my deployment upon. And this time I can again see that Ethereum BYC AWS has popped up. I can go ahead and click this, and it gives me the screen where I can start filling in all my configurations of Ethereum. So I can go ahead and name my network. So I'm just going to write here demo net ETH. Not very creative, but I think it should do the job. I can select the workspace. So again, we've discussed about what workspaces are, but first I'm going to select the network. So although it's going to be part of the public network, but we're still calling it as creating as a network, because that is what allows me to manage my services into Zeeve a little bit better in terms of for my projects and such. So I'm going to go ahead and click select mainnet here. But you can see all the other options like ring week or release Sequoia are also present here as well. I can select the deployment type, which is native Ethereum deployment, but for different protocols, Zeeve also supports different deployment strategies. So you might want to check for whatever purpose that you're using your blockchain for. I can select my workspace. I'm going to select public nodes workspace. Again, workspaces are just to allow a little bit of better management for your services for different projects, managing different environments for different projects, whether it's dev, staging, or prod, and keeping it neat. I'm going to go ahead and click next, and here is where I can actually set up a little bit of configuration which is very specific to my Ethereum node. So I'm going to write here user1RPC, and I'm going to type here the password. And then right after that, I can give my node a name so I can associate it later when the network is deployed. So I'm just going to write here node A ETH. And I can select a little bit of my RPC server's configuration, whether I would want execution HTTP, beacon HTTP, execution in WSS. So this is all very specific to my Ethereum protocol, but if you would select another protocol, again, it would show you different bunch of configurations that you can opt in or opt out of. You can also select what kind of JSON RPC APIs would you like to enable for Ethereum. And I'm just going to leave it as it is, but you guys can select whatever suits you best for your project purposes. And then right after that, I'll go ahead and select my cloud configurations. So here I would select my region. So if you remember, we have selected bring your own cloud AWS, which gives me all the options, all the capabilities of AWS in my deployment. I'm going to select here the region, let's say AP Northeast 2. I can select the cloud account. So I have got one cloud account for AWS, but if I had multiple, I could again select any of them. I can see the name of my node again, and I can set my instance type based on my usage. I can select whatever kind of instance size suits my requirement the best. So I'm just going to go here and select T3 medium. But again, Zeeve supports a whole variety of instance types that you can select from for your own purpose. And if I had chosen, let's say, a different cloud, or let's say Zeeve managed, then it would give me different bunch of configurations for cloud again for my deployment purposes. I'm going to go ahead and click create. So this will take a couple of minutes. Based on your cloud account, it would initiate the deployment. It would make sure that the underlying infrastructure is ready, prepared, and then after that, it would deploy all the Zeeve's services upon it, provisioning the actual software of your client, Ethereum client, and then making sure that the monitoring, the analytics for consumptions, everything is in place for you to benefit from. Based on your cloud, again, as I mentioned, it may take up to 10, 15, 20 minutes for your node to be set up and start syncing blocks. But I would just go ahead and show you an existing Ethereum network to save us some time. You can see this network has two nodes present within it. They're deployed on GCP cloud, unlike the one which I just deployed. And they've been deployed into the region of Europe West 1. I can do various actions upon this node, like stopping it, restarting it, watching the analytics, monitoring, deleting the node, and checking the status of it as well. There's a little bit of graphical representation for me to visualize how my network looks like and if my nodes are connected to each other or not. And I can also see some bit of my RPC credentials and endpoint strings as well. So for HTTP and beacon both, I can see my connection strings. I can see what JSON RPCs I've enabled. And if I choose, I can also get an example snippet for other languages as well apart from Perl. So let's say if I want for Node.js or for Golang, Python, I can just choose to do so from here. I can see my block height. So currently the syncing distance is still all present here. This node is currently being provisioned as well. But this is how a fully deployed node would look like. And if we go and look into the in-depth analytics, we'll be able to see much more details in it as well. But before I do that, I'd like to show you a couple of more actions present for this network. So you can go ahead and add new nodes into this network by add node option, or you can also choose to just stop this network full by deleting the network itself. So while the stop restart nodes are, I think, quite obvious of what they do, I'll go ahead and show you the analytics option. When I click on analytics, it shows me that you can see the node, the Ethereum get or Ethereum beacon chain option for the purpose of monitoring. I'm going to go ahead and click node, but we'll check out the other options as well. And here you can see that my node has come up, and we're looking at a network and a node ID of this. You can see some fundamental, analytics of my nodes, such as CPU, RAM, swap used, rootfs used, again the historical graph of my CPU, memory stack, um, the network IO. So let's say if something goes wrong, I'll be able to visualize it here using my dashboards, any disk used. So I can capture all of that into my graphs here. I can see the amount of CPUs that I've given to this machine, all the RAM uptime, and the rootfs as well again. So these are general analytics that Zeeve captures, but apart from this general analytics, Zeeve also provides you a bunch of monitoring which is very specific to the blockchain protocol that you're using, which is Ethereum in this case. So I can look at some Ethereum Get and Ethereum Beacon chain analytics as well. Here looking at the block count, the peer count. So this would still take a little bit of time to sync, but I think we can see what kind of parameters is what Zeeve captures here. So RPC duration success, number of RPC failures, RPC requests, RPC success, transaction rates, pending transactions. If you're using the nodes, this would be quite helpful for your purposes to know if something has gone wrong or if the transactions are taking too long. So it allow you to get that insight for your network. And you can also go to Ethereum Beacon chain for the new upgraded Ethereum 2.0. And you can see another bunch of parameters which are very specific to the blockchain protocol again. So here you can see the slots, the heads, the epoch time. So these are again all Ethereum specific parameters, the number of peers. Here we can see that the Beacon chain is full online at the moment, and it is connected to 46 peers. There are no bad peers, and it's got 508 disconnected, tried and disconnected nodes. You can also see a graphical representation of all of this, how this has been unfolding over a period, the transaction rate, active validators, participation rate and such, and also what is my client version of Beacon chain as well. So these parameters allow me to get a lot of insight, but of course I wouldn't want to be opening this at every given point, just to make sure that my business is running fine on Ethereum services. And that's why we have alerts and notification system built into Zeeve. So you are notified on in-app notifications as well as on to your email threads, emails basically, to get notified if anything has gone wrong with your node itself. Let's say if it doesn't have enough peers, it is connected to, then Zeeve will let you know that your node is perhaps risking it a little bit. It's not very healthy, and you might want to look into it, reach out to the support, or support perhaps can actually be proactive and reach out to you, letting you know of the issue as well. And similarly, a lot of other parameters like RPCs, or let's say if your blocks are not syncing in your node for a good duration of time, again, you'll be notified into your emails as well. So all of these benefits come from setting up your node in a dedicated fashion. But of course, you can also choose to just use shared APIs in case you do not want to set up your own dedicated nodes. We'll be discussing shared APIs in a separate video call. But for now, I think this is what we have to show you. Again, some major benefits that I'd like to highlight is that it would allow you to deploy standard Ethereum nodes with all the security standards maintained for that very node itself, where you don't have to worry about what is going wrong or might go wrong with your node at any given point. And this cuts down the amount of cost that you'll be bearing for your projects, and for you to take care of the complexity that blockchain brings in for your project itself. So you don't have to worry about any of that, and you can just focus on writing your own smart contracts and interacting with the node as you usually would. So yeah, this is about it, and you can reach out to the support. We've got a very rich Zeeve documentation available as well that you may benefit from at the time of deployment of your own for your own purpose. So I think that's it, and thank you for joining in. I think we'll be launching a bunch of more videos for different protocols, so stay tuned. And if you wish to listen a couple of good words about your own protocol, then we'll be very happy to have you in as well. So please subscribe and look out for any good videos coming out as well You can subscribe to us on our LinkedIn, our YouTube channel, and another bunch of platforms that we'll be putting down in the description below. Thank you. Bye-bye.